Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. When it comes to our finances, this is one word that when you hear it, it just feels uncomfortable because you should be adhering to it, but you really don't want to because it's not fun. I'm talking about the word budget. Do you have a
Yes.
budget? Have you budgeted? What's going on there, your financial situation? We are going to look at budgeting today with somebody that helps people all the time as a CEO and financial coach at Trust the Process. Luckisha Townsend is our professional of the year, and she's back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Terrific. A little worried.
Awesome.
A little
It's
worried.
raining here. It's raining here. I guess we're getting some of the hurricane a little bit. So, but you know.
Is it hurricane where you are? You're in Ohio, right?
Yeah, I mean what we do, we get remnants,
Ah,
So we get like a lot of rain and stuff like that. So yeah,
well,
so nothing, like Texas got,
sure.
so
A lot
yeah.
of us are dealing with a financial storm right now, and
Right.
it's like it's like
Yes, I
it's
love the way you segued. I loved it.
like a tornado going on there, and we know that we need to get out of the storm, but we're
Yes.
afraid to, because we're not sure what we're
Yes.
doing. But at the same time, there comes discipline. You know, I like to
Yes.
eat out at least once a week. Just general here,
Hmm.
or whatever it might be.
Right.
But your budget, does that support it? So what are your thoughts on budgeting? Your initial thoughts?
Yes. I mean, yes, your budget can allow for that. That's the thing people forget is that a budget allows you to spend. And the reason why it allows you to spend because you know where your money's going. So
Hmm.
yes, if you don't have a lot of debt that you're trying to get out of, then yeah, you can definitely budget that and especially like if it's just once a week because when you work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, and then have to come home and think about cooking something, believe me, I know I did that for 32 years, so I understand how, I just don't feel like it. I could just go to McDonald's or do Uber. Oh, and now we have Uber Eats.
Oh my,
So
yeah. Ooh, dangerous territory. Uh-oh. Yes.
so now they're getting us even, further because now you don't even have to go to the restaurant. You ain't got to get in the line. Only thing you have to do is get on your app and your food will be there. And so, by this
Mm.
time you did it 4 times this month or this week actually, and now you spent like over $150. And you're like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
But this is where our budget comes in. This is where, when you set aside money for those times when you want to go eat out, then you won't be feeling guilty later, like, oh my God, I spent, money that was supposed to go to this. Now how am I going to make up for it, on the back end? So I had a client that I was working with, she was a person who like, did her budget and everything. And then she would actually plan her meals out. She planned her meals out. And when she got to work, oh, the office, like, hey, we have worked hard, this morning. Let's go out to lunch.
Hmm.
And
You know
so,
that
well,
yeah.
most restaurants frown on you bringing food to the restaurant. So now she's got to spend money that she didn't intend to spend, you know. And so when we were discussing it, and she's like, well, and that food goes to waste, that's how she was thinking of it. I said, well, what about what kind of, what kind of food was it, that you were fixing? And I said, well, could you eat it for breakfast, or could you eat it for dinner the next day or something like that? Yeah, I'm like, I asked her, do you like leftovers? Or, because some people don't like leftovers, which I don't understand because sometimes, especially depending on what it is, after it has marinated a day, it tastes a lot better to me. I don't know about you, but that's how I
Mm.
feel about leftovers.
You know what? There is a place for that, but there's also a
Yeah.
place for entitlement, and you started touching upon that a moment ago, where Yeah, I work hard. I work hard all week. I'm going
Yeah.
out to dinner. I'm going to treat
Mm-hmm.
myself. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But those things, we need to make
Right.
sure that our budget supports it. And yes, on the
Yes.
Uber Eats or the DoorDash, there was a point
Mm-hmm.
where I was busy. My daughter would message me and I would just click the
Yeah.
button.
Yeah.
And when I started seeing how it was adding up, and I made her very aware of it, now she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't ask so much. Now it's my determination. Let's say if I
Mm-hmm.
can't get home or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
or I just get in the car and I pick it up on the way home. Usually it's
Yeah.
Taco Bell. That's her thing.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but it adds up, and especially
Mm-hmm.
here comes the word Amazon.
Yes.
There's another one. Ah,
Yes.
it just keeps.
That's one of my weaknesses too. I mean,
Oh, same here. Yeah.
oh my goodness. It's hard, so now now you want, we were going to talk about credit cards.
Sure.
So now, of course, if you don't have your budget under control, you shouldn't be using a credit card. You should be staying away from a credit card because that's what they call mindless spending, because you don't feel it at all. You just swipe, I mean, there's no emotion attached to it until after you get this big bill at the end of the month, right? So now, if you're at a point to where, okay, you got your finances under control, yes, okay, you got a credit card. All right. So the good thing is that, if you're gonna get credit cards, find those that have rewards where when you go on Amazon, then hopefully you can use your reward points to purchase something. Because like I have Capital One, not plugging them at all, but you get, I think, 1% on every dollar that you spend, I think it is.
Hmm.
So you get money cash back. So what you can do with that, some people will maybe have it sent to their checking account. What I do, I put it on my Amazon because I know I'm always on Amazon. That's where I go, and do a lot of my spending. So I have it connected to Amazon. So that way, when I go on there now, if I have some money on there and there's something that I need to get, I'll see, okay, how much money do I have on there? So that way I'm not, I'm actually not spending as much as it actually costs because I've actually had money put towards it. That's just like even when say if it's not a credit card where you put money aside to get that item. So
Hmm.
I would definitely say, research credit cards that that have good reward points. I mean, they're getting a little ridiculous now. Now they want you to spend like $50,000 before you can get any points and stuff. And I think they're changing even on the airline miles and stuff now. So you have
Hmm.
to really, really research when it comes to credit cards, especially if you want to advantage those reward points that they offer you when it comes to credit cards.
Yeah, I've 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 selected cards based on the rewards, and I
Mm-hmm.
redeem them every single month. Even it's $37 that goes right back onto
Mm-hmm.
my statement. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Amazon, they've
Mm-hmm.
made it so easy. Of course, it's one click and
Yes.
it's at your doorstep. But even on the, let's say you return something, and that's another,
Yeah.
these are all the addictive things that are going on
Yes.
here. So I can always return it. I can always, well, when you do return it, initially
Mm-hmm.
I started putting it on my, the return on my credit card, but it
Yeah.
takes like
Mm-hmm.
5 days or whatever. And so, hard to keep track of. I'd have to go into my credit card statement, make sure that it went there. So then I started
Mm-hmm.
just putting it on the Amazon
Mm-hmm.
credit and just leave it there. Yeah, because I'm going to buy something again. But it makes it too easy because I buy
Yes.
something for $30. I had a $20 credit. Now, oh, it's kind of like it only cost me $10. It really
Right.
didn't. But
Right.
it's those little things that we just need to,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so easy to get sucked down that rabbit hole of
Oh
just
yes.
spending. spending.
And now, with our phones and our computers, they're tracking us. So it's like almost they in our
Mm,
minds, you're thinking about something. Next thing you know, you see it on your phone, on your computer, and you keep seeing it. They keep putting it in front of you until, they get you to the point where I'm like, I keep seeing this. I'm supposed to buy this, and I tell you, marketing is something else.
yeah. Yeah.
And even in grocery stores, they now have stuff in front of, in the front part of the store. So you ain't have to go and search for it. So it's just right there. You're like, oh, yeah, I was wanting those. You didn't come in there for that. But now they make it easy for
Yeah.
you to spend your money. So that's why you have to, when you go into the grocery store, you have to go in with a purpose. You got to go in there with a list and go in there with cash.
Mm,
Those are three things you need to do. If you're intending to stay disciplined, even in any other store, you want to have a list of what you're going in there for, and go in there with purpose, not, wandering around, doing, window shopping, and go with cash. Because when
mm,
you go with cash,
yeah.
you get to the checkout and it's more than what you are supposed to spend, then you're gonna be like, oh my God, you're gonna feel a little embarrassed or whatever, and that's why we have credit card, because like, okay, we go in there with cash, but I wanted to get that. And so you pull out that credit card, and then instead of just putting that amount that was left on the credit card, you put the whole amount. Say, oh, I'll keep the cash for something else, and go ahead and swipe the card.
Mm,
So you totally defeated the purpose. But it takes discipline. I mean, it's just like with
sure.
anything. It's just like, with working out. It takes some time. I like to tell my clients, give yourself 3 months to get your budget to where you feel, it's like automatic for you. It's going, so that first month you might boggle it a little bit, because you're feeling yourself out. You're realizing what type of spender you are, what
Sure.
kind of habits you have, all those kind of things. You're now kind of rediscovering yourself, you know, through
It's
your
so true.
finances. And so, it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to that. And don't get disappointed. Don't get down on yourself if you happen to, go out and spend something at one time. Just get back on the horse. We all, have those times when we either have to or we did it because, okay, that urge, that urge to spend came upon us. But just always remember, don't beat yourself up, because first thing happens once you beat yourself up, what do? Well, I tried. I can't do this. I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing.
Mm.
And so then you're going back into that cycle. Now, creating even more debt, because like, well, I work hard. It's my money, so what?
You know,
So that's how we get
it's
off track.
my first thought. My first thought when it came to bringing the cash to the store, that all right, well, I'm not getting the
Mhm.
credit card reward points, but they have it all figured out because you're paying the interest on it. Unless you're paying everything in full every month, they have it all figured out. They're not giving you something for nothing. I want to
Yes,
share.
yes.
I want to share something um, that I encounter, and would love your feedback. And that
Okay.
is calling companies to get a better rate. For example,
Mm-hmm.
internet, TV, phone. So I was paying 95, $96 for the package, basic TV. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even watch it. I stream everything. And then the phone, figured I'd
Yes,
keep it. It was my old phone number. It's the only telemarketers are calling anyway. But I
yes.
continued the package and they would always give me the whole, oh, you need this, blah, blah, blah. And it was only an extra $10, $20, whatever it is. I
Right,
just came to the
right.
point like, I'm cutting it. So I called. It did take a few phone calls, but eventually I got that down to $50 for just the internet, but faster speed. So I took it up from like 100
Hmm.
meg to like 300 meg, and it's a flat 50 every month. So essentially cut it in half for TV I wasn't watching, a phone I wasn't using, but I'm going to say it's not always easy. You have to have
No.
patience and
Yes. And
and you have to,
diligence.
yes, and keep asking those questions because they'll put you on the
Mhm,
plan, but maybe it'll expire in 4 months, and now
mhm.
your auto pay is getting pinged for the full amount. So I make sure, how long is that for? Well, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm looking for a promotion that's a year. I don't want to do this. You're in the driver's seat many times because there's many
Mhm.
options for internet. Even your cell phone company like T-Mobile has 5G internet. It's a box you put in. It's basically like a cell phone in your house for your
Right.
internet service. But
Right.
what your thoughts on all of that? I just gave one example there.
Yes. Oh, I mean that was perfect. And what I wanted to also ask you, did you stay with the same company or did you end up going with someone else?
I stayed with the same company
Okay,
because
good.
in my area it's a monopoly and the other
Mm-hmm.
company can't come in because of
Hmm.
town negotiations, and it's been going on for
Right.
years, and it's a sticky point. However, I
Right.
could have gotten T-Mobile 5G where
Hmm.
it's just delivered through cell service essentially.
Right. Yeah.
But at the
Hmm.
$50 and faster speed, I thought, all right, we got a good deal. Same thing
Yeah.
with satellite radio. So
Mm.
don't need it. Like to have it. I work in radio,
Hmm.
so it's another reason I like to, scan channels or whatever. But back in the day, they'd be charging 34.95 a month. And back then I would call and I'm canceling. I'm canceling.
Hmm.
And whittle it
Hmm.
down to like 7.95, where it is right now. I pay 7.95 a month and that's it. For me, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
If it goes
Right.
up a penny, I'm dumping it. I really don't need it. There's many choices. You stream from your phone into your car. There's a lot you can do there. But
Yes.
it basically comes down to you have to negotiate for yourself,
Yes.
and they're going to put you on to the next person and the next
Right.
person. And then even with the cable company, it was we
Yeah.
have to send you to a retention specialist, meaning please
Right.
don't
Yes.
go.
Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
have you
And see,
done
that's
that?
the thing that people need to realize is that we have to take our power back. So now when all these companies came out back in the day, you know, loyalty was key, you know. Now, Lord, they don't have any loyalty to us as,
Exactly.
as customers who have longevity. So
Oh,
we have to change our mindset and our thinking about that and say,
you are
hey,
right.
you know what? We got to take our power back. I mean, that's with your cable, that's with your phone, that's with your homeowners insurance, that's with your
Sure.
car insurance. You have to all of that. You can't, because I was with, State Farm for like 20 years, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to, look around and let's see if there's something better out there because my car, I had my car to be 15 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
so
by
I'm
by
like,
the way,
well,
side note, it's an expensive
yes,
purchase. It's the
yeah,
12-year average right now of how long people are holding on to their cars. I'm keeping mine around. I thought, well, why am I going to get another one? It's working. You know, it's
it's that
why.
mindset because once
Yeah,
you pay off something, you think, oh, I got to get something new again. I mean, that's what we have been taught. That's what society says. You got to have the newest, latest thing. You know, they're trying to push, the electric car on people and stuff like that. So so it's like, oh my God, I got to get this car because they're saying we're going to need it and all this kind of stuff. And usually that's not the case. That's all marketing. They're trying to, scare you into getting something that is not, good for your lifestyle. So yeah, when it comes to that, yeah, don't be loyal to anybody but yourself.
mm.
Okay.
You're right. You're
So if
right.
somebody else has a better deal, take it, run. If you're not under contract, run, run, run. Do what's best for you because it's all of it. They're trying to get our money everywhere you turn around.
It's so
You
right.
turn to the left, turn to the right. They're trying to get your money. So we got to be smarter. We got to, pay attention to our subscriptions. I put it on my calendar. Like if I know that I'm trying something out for a specific period of time, and I know I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep this. I put it on my calendar to remind myself because you do,
You
and
have
it's
to.
easy to forget. It's easy to forget. They even have apps. I mean, the only thing is that with this app, you have to pay for it. So I'm kind of like, I mean, that's another expense.
Mm. I love what you said there about
That
the
you know.
loyalty. It's so true. It's so true. You could
Yes.
be with a company for decades. By the way, I've had State Farm since I started driving, and I've shopped around a
Uh-huh.
little bit. Customer
Right.
service has been good. I haven't released them uh, yet, but
Yeah.
why not always keep looking? There could be,
Yeah.
yeah, you really have to weigh everything. Yeah, you have
Yes,
to
you
look at
do.
the
You
full
do.
picture of things. But
Hmm.
even even companies like, for example, the cable company.
Hmm.
I missed a payment. This is in the last month. I missed a payment. Been with that company decades, decades, decades.
Right. Right.
And then they shut my service down.
They want to treat you like a stepchild.
And guess why I missed a payment? Because their auto pay didn't work. It's always been set up. Wasn't my bank. I checked it. All good, no problem. So I call them up. I've never missed a payment. And that late fee of 10.95, can you please remove that? And they
Yeah.
did with no argument, but you have to, it's almost as if you have to fight for yourself. It's kind of crazy.
You do. You do. You have to stand up for yourself. You do.
Yeah.
This is we're in the age of you have to stand up for yourself, especially when
Mm,
it comes to your finances. You have
sure.
to stand up for yourself. You can't just take, what they tell you. No, if you feel like no, isn't right, then don't just settle. Just don't just settle. Just like when you were saying with State Farm, like I don't pay in, monthly. I never liked that. I just didn't like that. So I was paying every 6 months, which was good. And so I went to a insurance broker. They have insurance brokers that are not loyal to like one specific company. And so they can search all the companies to get you, a better deal. So that's what I did. And so now I pay annually for my car insurance.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's less than what I was paying with State Farm.
Well,
So
make
actually,
sure I heard that right. So you pay
yes.
annually, now a different company, but when you say by paying annually, you're saving more.
Yeah, this
Hmm.
particular time. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Hmm. So that is why, yeah, that's why you need to shop around. Yes,
Yeah.
shop around. And like I said, and what, 5 years ago, when I found out about insurance broker, I didn't know that there were insurance brokers out there. I mean, you have what are they? Real estate brokers. I guess you can have insurance
Sure.
brokers. And
Sure.
so they're people who can shop around for you instead of you having to do it. They shop around for you and get you the best deal.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
first thing that comes to my mind is skepticism. So you really like you said, due diligence, research,
Hmm.
ask around. This is just a piece of what you offer in helping
Hmm.
people with their financial situations. And you can coach, you know, from many different areas. They have all different
Yeah.
commitment levels, even just,
Yes.
I would assume, helping somebody clean up their mess because it's
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
That's basically, yeah. Yes. I actually have a lady, I'm waiting on her to, she said, yes, I gotta come to you, because I need some help with my finances. And so my first thing, when it comes to taking on the clients, my first thing I want to know is commitment.
Yep.
Are you committed to the process? Are you teachable?
Hmm.
Are you accountable? Okay. And are you committed? Those are the things I'm looking for. So I told her, I said, okay. And so I'm going to see if she calls me.
Gotcha. Yeah. You have
And
to be
so,
all in.
I mean, she sees me every, Sunday and every Thursday. So I'm in her face. So, but I'm not going to, I'm like, hey, when we going to get together? No, because I don't want you to feel forced that,
Sure.
like, oh, I told her I was going to have her help me with my finances and, oh, I got to, do something or whatever. Or now I got to walk over to the other side of the church to avoid her, kind of thing.
Sure.
So, yes. So I want you to want it more than I want it for you.
You know what I think it is
You
too?
have to.
A lot of us are embarrassed to admit
Yes.
what we
Hmm.
got going on.
I'm so glad
Sometimes
you brought that up.
It's personal, but you've seen it all. You've dealt with all
Yes.
different situations. It's like, when you go to the doctor and you have to
Yeah.
get a full body examination and you're like, I don't know, somebody's seen. They don't care. They've seen, thousands. It doesn't matter to them. It does matter, but
Right.
that doesn't matter.
Right.
How do
Right.
we, Luckisha, how do we find you?
Well, you find me, all kinds of ways, definitely on this wonderful podcast. Definitely tune in and listen to us. You can get this free information. I have a website at ttpcoachingservices.com. I'm on Facebook at ttpfinancialservices.com. And then, of course, you can call me at 614-715-4619.
Gotcha. Yeah. TTP, by the way, I want to tell everybody, trust the process. I love that.
Process. Yep.
I
That's
love that.
it.
Yeah. You have to trust the process and have faith. And it doesn't have to be faith in, religiously connected. Have faith in yourself that you can make financial changes, or have faith in somebody else that can help you do it, like yourself.
Right. It's within, it's there. I'm just there to help you bring it out, because you have the ability to control your finances, to control your future.
Thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It was good. Love it.
Same here. And I'm going to start shopping for a new car insurance provider. I am. Why not? What do you got to lose? You know what? They're not loyal
What
to
could it
you.
hurt? What could it hurt?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not turning around.
You might stay with the same person because they're the lowest, but at least you went out there and looked.
Last time I checked, I didn't get an envelope in the mail or an email that said, "We appreciate you. Here's a $50 credit." So why not?
Okay.
Thanks again. And we'll catch up soon. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.